We have a word problem here, and like most good word problems, it involves converting the language of the word problem into a couple of formulas. And in this situation, we have two variables, so we need two formulas in order to solve for each of those variables. And the two variables we have are the owner and employee. And I'm representing each of the owners as A and each of the employees as B. Now, the first formula that I get out of the language they've given us is that for the two owners and the 10 employees, they will be splitting $48,000, which means that when I add up the amount that the two owners share plus the amount that the 10 employees share, I should get $48,000 out. Now, the second formula is that each of the two owners, so each of them, receives 3 times as much as each of the employees. So an owner makes 3 times as much as the employee, which means A equals 3B. For example, if B was $1, A would be worth $3 because A is equal to 3 times $1 in that situation. Okay, now there's a couple of ways you could solve this. You could do this by substitution, or you could do this by subtracting one formula from the other formula or adding them together. But it's easier to do substitution here. The only thing I want to be careful about is that I think it's going to be easier to solve for B initially, but the question is asking how much did each owner receive? So we want to make sure that we solve for A. So I'm going to solve for B, but then I'm going to convert it into A later on because I think it's easier to do it that way. So because A equals 3B, 2 times A is really 2 times 3B plus 10B. This equals 6 plus 10. This equals 16B. And 16B is equal to 48,000. Now divide both sides by 16 and we get B equals 48,000 over 16. And how many times does 16 go into 48? It goes in 3 times. And I still have those 3 zeros. So B is equal to 3,000. Now, if we take this value for B and plug it back in here, we can solve A. So A is equal to 3 times 3,000, which means A is equal to 9,000. And that is answer choice B. So a lot of times on word problems, it's easier to just solve for the other variable, the one you're not looking for, and then convert it later. You have to kind of go with the flow of the question. What's the setup look like? Because I already had A by itself, it was going to be easier to just plug 3B in wherever an A occurred, versus if I tried to plug A over 3 in for B, would have been a lot messier. So go with the flow of the question. Just be careful. It's a word problem, so they could get you on detail with the language. But other than that, I think this was a relatively more straightforward question. Another big tip is definitely write down the variable you're looking for so that you don't forget and accidentally solve E in this example. 3,000 would have been incorrect because that was the value of B, not of A.